This video is brought to you today by Ghost Tags. This is my own company that I started because I wanted a glow-in-the-dark AirTag case. These things are awesome. You can stick them on your backpack, on your dog's collar, and you will be able to find it at night. We've got two colors, blue and green. They've got great reviews. Go check them out. Links to them down below. Now on to the video. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Slim and you're watching Slimothy TV. If you're thinking about pre-ordering or purchasing the iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 16 Plus, or iPhone 16 Pro Max, you need to watch this video first. We're going to talk about all the differences right now. We're going to talk about the colors, the configurations, the sizes, because hey, guess what? The Pro models are actually bigger this year. Apple tried to sneak that in there, and you guys are going to want to know about it. So let's get right into this. On the far left, I've got the 16 Pro Max right here. In the middle, I got the 16 Pro, and on the right, I got the iPhone 16. So we're first going to quickly gloss over the colors. So we got Desert Titanium for the Pros, natural, white, black. As a professional iPhone guy, I can already tell you Desert Titanium is the way to go this year, at least in my opinion. I have natural titanium on the 15 Pro. It's nice. Black and white are just the generic colors that they have to throw in there just to appease like the business customers, people that just want something basic. But then they throw in the natural titanium for a little more pizzazz, and then the Desert Titanium for those that want to really go for it. Desert Titanium looks fantastic. For those of you that were believing the rumors in the past couple weeks about the fake brown color, the shit brown color as I call it, it turned out to be not that. That's why I didn't really go with those leaks or anything. So it just did not seem like Apple to do that. Next up for the 16, we have Ultramarine, which is kind of their flagship color this year. We also have teal, pink, white, and black. Again, white and black just for the basic. Then you got pink for the girls, and you have teal for probably the girls, and then ultramarine for pretty much anyone. But I actually think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna be honest, this pink looks pretty good too. They're much more saturated colors than previously. Now let's take a look at the pricing. So if pricing is an issue for any of these, obviously, you gotta respect your finances. $11.99 for the Pro Max, $9.99 for the Pro, and $7.99 for the 16. Apple did not raise the prices on us, which was another rumor that was going around, and that's great. So in that case, it's a win for everyone. I think, as you're gonna see here, this Pro Max is actually more expensive because it's got more storage. It's 256, this is 128, so just keep that in mind. Here's the big differences here. The Pro Max has a 6.9-inch enormous Super Retina XDR display. That's crazy, that's big. 6.3, which is bigger than the 6.1 on the 15 Pros for the 16 Pro. So this one's even going up 0.2 inches as well. And then you've got the typical 6.1 inch on the 16, which is the same as, previous years. But one thing a lot of people are overlooking, everyone's recommending, go get the iPhone 16, go get the iPhone 16. You don't need the Pro, you don't need the Pro. The 16 is missing ProMotion. So you're not gonna get the 120 hertz screen on the 16. Because of that, you're also not gonna get the always on display. So keep that in mind if that matters to you. If you're coming from a 15 Pro and you're thinking you're gonna get the 16 instead, don't do it to yourself, Chief. Keep the 15 Pro. But if you're going from a 15 Pro to a 16 Pro, that makes sense. All right, titanium with textured matte glass back. Yes, of course. These ones are, the 16s are aluminum with color infused glass back. All right, so pretty similar to previous years. Every phone this year has the action button. Fantastic. All of them come with Apple Intelligence. And then you've got the same A18 Pro chip on the Pro phones, which of course makes sense, identical. And then the 16 actually gets the A18 chip non-Pro edition. The only real difference here is the 5-core GPU. Keep that in mind. There's other differences too, but that's what they outline. Probably just doing some form of chip binning, to be honest with you. Anyways, all of them have the brand new capture button, camera control, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, the camera systems are different on these phones. So the Pro and the Pro Max have the exact same camera setup this year, which is great. Last year, the Pro Max had a better camera, technically, they said, than the Pro, which sucks because, first of all, I'm never gonna carry around a Pro Max phone. Ridiculous size. I'm not the only one out there like that. Like, a lot of people do not like the Pro Max size. So the fact that they have everything the same now, fantastic. The Pro now gets the 5X telephoto. 16, on the other hand, has a different setup. They have an advanced dual camera system, 48 megapixel fusion, similar to this one, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Now over here, you got 48 megapixel macro photography. This one just says macro photography. You also don't have Dolby Vision 4K at 120 frames per second. Honestly, if you're buying a 16, you probably don't give a shit about that anyway. Spatial photo and video, and then obviously latest generation photographic styles. Now, as for optical zoom options, you can see 16 Pro and Pro Max, both exactly the same. 16 is a little bit lacking, but that's the way it is. All of them have the dynamic island. All of them have emergency SOS. All of them have it via satellite, crash detection, roadside assistance via satellite, and messages via satellite, which is clutch. This will allow you to text your family and friends if they also have this via satellite, if there's no Wi-Fi and no cellular. That's crazy. And supposedly it's free, I think, for 2 years. I don't know how long they're gonna do that. Now let's talk about battery life. Battery life has been improved across the board for every single model. So 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, all of them have better battery life now. Now, if you want the best of the best, you gotta get the Pro Max, but again, you're carrying around a huge phone. Pro is going to be amazing at 27 hours, and the 16, 22 hours, that's respectable. Now the Pro models, of course, have USB 3 for up to 20x faster transfers. Unfortunately, the 16 still has USB 2. I haven't heard anyone else talking about that. Still slow speeds. Face ID on all of them, 5G cellular on all of them, and then latest generation ceramic shield on all of them. Water resistant, same amount, compatible with MagSafe. Of course, this new 16 series has 25 watt charging via MagSafe with a 30 watt adapter or higher. Now remember at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that the 16 Pro Max was actually more expensive because of the storage, and that is clearly the case right here. You're jumping up to 256 to start. There's no 128 here. So if we took apples to apples and we took this one versus this one, the Pro Max is only $100 more for that bigger screen. So if you want to carry around an enormous phone, it's only $100 more. So yeah, you pay a little extra to have a little more inconvenience. I'm going for the 256 Pro if you haven't already figured it out. That's what I do every year. It's always $1099. So I like that. 16 series, $799, $899, $1099. You know, you got to choose what you got to choose. Whatever you need, go for that. You can't upgrade it later, so just keep that in mind. All right, now let's talk about these displays. All of them have Super Retina XDR displays. Of course, you got the 6.9, 6.3, and 6.1. All of them have dynamic island. The 16 does not have the ProMotion or always on. We already know that. They all have HDR displays. They all have 460 ppi, which is great. Great contrast ratio on every one of them. True tone display on every one of them. P3 color gamut on all of them. I mean, all of these are exactly identical all the way down. Very, very good to see. However, that means next year there's going to be some differences, I think, because these are way too similar to each other in my opinion. All right, then we got size and weight. This is where things get a little bit interesting. Because I'm going to actually switch up some stuff here. I'm going to switch this to the 15 Pro here. You're going to see here the iPhone 16 Pro is slightly taller and wider than the previous 15 Pro. It also weighs more. This is something no one else is talking about. Apple tried to play it off like, oh, it's the same. They just shrunk the bezels. No, this is a bigger phone all around. Now, will you notice that? I don't know, probably. But let's go ahead and switch this to the 15 Pro Max so you can get a side-by-side comparison. 16 Pro Max, 15 Pro Max. If you thought the previous 15 Pro Max was too big, you're probably gonna hate the 16 Pro Max because you can see it's bigger in every way right here, and it weighs more. Keep that in mind. This is something a lot of YouTubers aren't talking about. It's gonna be bigger. You might wanna go into a store and just test out the 16 Pro Max first, get it in your hands, see if you like it, because I think there's gonna be a lot of returns on those, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's get this back to how it was. There we go. So here you can see them all side by side. 16, 16 Pro, and 16 Pro Max. All right, let's talk about this. IP68, water, dust resistant. Apple Intelligence, yes, here's the chip information. We already went over that. Camera information, we already actually went over most of that here. You can see 16 doesn't have Pro RAW, doesn't have night mode portraits. It's just a slightly less capable camera, but for the people that are getting that, I don't think they care. Video recording, you guys can pause this if you want, but you can see right here, the 16 does not have ProRes, log video, or the ACES system, the Academy color encoding system. It's not present there, but there's a couple differences here and there. It doesn't have the 4 mic array on the 16, which is interesting considering how much Apple talked about that. I thought that they probably would put that on the 16 as well. However, it also has wind noise reduction. So I'm starting to wonder, is the wind noise reduction really because of the 4 mics, or is it because of software, AI? Front camera, I don't think anything changed. They didn't talk about the front camera at all. So the only difference here, I guess, is the ProRes video recording at 4K 60. There could be some other little things here that I missed, but yeah, no one really cares about that stuff. Peace of mind, it's got all of these, cellular and wireless. Let's check this out because I am actually a network geek at heart. Let's see, GSM Edge, okay. Let's see if there's any differences here because I have not gone through this list for the cellular yet. All of them have Wi-Fi 7. That is fantastic to see. Gigabit LTE, 5G, yeah, these are all the same. Wow. All right, good job, Apple. Second gen ultra wideband chip is going to give off a ton of EMF, I'm sure. The only real way to turn that off is unfortunately to just turn off Bluetooth. Thread networking technology. Okay, here we go. Precision dual frequency GPS still is on the Pro and Pro Max, but not on the 16. You still have great, GPS, but it's not dual frequency, so it's going to be a little less accurate in hard to reach places like downtown and stuff like that with big buildings or trees. Wi-Fi calling, express cards, NFC. Okay. So the only real difference here is the precision dual frequency GPS. That's nice to see. And I'm super, super happy to see Wi-Fi 7 because a lot of people don't know Wi-Fi 7 exists, but in a few years when everyone upgrades their equipment, they're going to go from 5 to 7 or 6 to 7. They're probably not going to go to 6E. Your authentication, it's all the same. Apple Pay, yep. Apple Card, video calling, yes, looks the same. Audio calling looks the same as well. audio playback, it's all the same. Very, very good. All right, I am very happy to see that Apple is stepping up their game a little bit here. Sensors, you're missing the LiDAR on the 16, but that's probably to be expected at this point. That was a lot to go through in about 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna tell you guys again, I'm picking the 16 Pro, Desert Titanium, 256 gigs. If you're not sure what color to pick, drop a comment down below. If you have a question about these configurations, let me know. If you're wondering why Apple did this, up and down camera, it's because of spatial video. They want people doing that for the Apple Vision Pro, even though no one buys those things. That's been my quick little video going over every single iPhone 16 model. Let me know your favorite, drop it down below.